Factory methods and equipment vary from species to species, but the principles are the same. Keep costs down and manipulate animals' productivity upward. These principles ensure that animals are crowded in barren environments, restricted, stressed, and maintained on drug-laced, unnatural diets. The modern chicken comes from the sterile laboratories of a handful of primary breeders worldwide. In the US, these companies sell animals for breeding to some 300 multipliers or hatcheries, which is down from 11,405 in 1934. These in turn produce the chicks who are used for egg and meat production. At the multipliers, birds have the run of the floor in the breeding houses, for freedom and exercise promote health and a higher percentage of fertile eggs. If the hatchery is turning out birds for egg factories, the first order of business is to destroy half the crop of chickens. Males don't lay eggs, and the flesh of these specialized layer breeds is of poor quality. It's not fit to feed, as one hatchery worker put it. These chicks, by the millions annually, have for decades been thrown into plastic bags to be crushed or suffocated. Large-scale hatcheries have moved towards the use of gas asphyxiation or macerators, which grind up the live chicks at high speeds. About 3/4 of the female chicks, the pullets, are reared in cages, the other fourth raised loose in-floor facilities. Shortly before they begin to lay eggs, at between 18 and 20 weeks of age, they are moved to the egg factory. Today, 98% of commercial layer hens in the US are caged. At an industry average of 8 birds per cage, each hen gets about 50 square inches of floor space. In 2002, under pressure from public opinion, the industry trade group United Egg Producers announced Animal Care Certified guidelines that will, over a 6-year period, gradually increase the space allowance to a minimum of 67 inches per hen, or 7 birds per cage. Studies have shown, however, that hens require 71 to 75 square inches of space just to stand and lie down, and about twice that much space to stretch their wings. In major egg-producing states, operations with flocks of 100,000 hens are common, some housing as many as 200,000 hens in a single building. The owner of a planned 2.4 million hen facility explained, "We used to have one person for 10,000 chickens. Now we have one for every 150,000. After a year in the cages, hens' egg productivity wanes and it becomes unprofitable to feed and house them. The manager may decide to use force molting, a procedure which causes the bird to grow new feathers and accelerates and synchronizes another cycle of egg production. This is usually accomplished by reducing light and depriving the hens of food for 10 to 14 days. In a large study, mortality doubled during the first week of the molt and then doubled again during the second week. Aggression also increases amongst the starving birds. After a forced molt or two, they are deemed spent and are removed from the cages to make room for the next flock. There is a poor market for the birds in these days of mass-produced broiler chickens, so they too are thrown into macerators, buried alive, or killed by having their neck broken. Now that these gruesome methods have created controversy, a few firms are beginning to experiment with other ways of killing hens, such as electrocution and gassing. Whatever the method of killing, millions go to renderers to be turned into companion animal food and feed supplements, to incinerators or to landfills. With broiler chickens, both sexes are kept and raised for meat. The chicks are dumped into a huge shed with some type of litter covering the floor. Not that these birds have it all that much better than their cousins in the layer cages. Generations of inbreeding for rapid growth have produced crippled birds prone to heart attacks and a slew of other health problems. They spend their short lives packed together by tens of thousands on manure-soaked floors, breathing dust and ammonia. The situation is similar for turkeys, and the numbers are huge. Roughly 9 billion birds go through factory systems to slaughter each year in the US alone. That's up from about 1.6 billion in 1960.